I am Chef Carter and welcome to Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. Well, today I'm going to show you a fun dish. I'm at my brother and sister-in-law's house, so we have a new kitchen today. So I'm going to show you how to make pizza dough and then how to complete the pizza. So easy enough. You will need, depending on how much you want, I have 2 cups of water. I'm doing a double batch today. 2 cups of water. We have flour, oil. I'm using olive oil today. A little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, and it will make a delicious pizza crust. Alright, so one thing you need to know is when you are making dough from scratch, the only measurement you really have to be on the mark about is the water. Alright, so I have 2 cups of water here, and to the 2 cups of water, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of sugar. So this is a fresh thing of sugar. You know, it's always hard to open. So I just want a little bit. Alright. So what it does is that helps get the yeast started. Alright, so here's my yeast right here. These packets are always a little difficult to open. Alright, so we got that started. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt that so you can watch that go as I do what I do here. So in here, what we want to do is get started with about 1 cup of flour. Again, I'm not going to worry about the measurements of the flour yet. And I'll show you why in just a little bit. Alright, so my yeast is hydrated now. So I'm going to go ahead and pour all my liquid, and I'm going to scrape all of my yeast out of my bowl, because some of it will stay in that bowl. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the sink. While I get this started. So it doesn't have to be thoroughly mixed. We're just kind of starting to get those together. So one thing I'm going to add is just a little bit of oil, about a spoon or 2 of oil. And that will help soften and flavor the pizza crust as well. Alright, so you can see here it's a little lumpy. However, that won't be the case once we're done. So, personally I prefer using a spoon. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape that off. Alright, now that I have a kind of a thick dough here, I'm going to go ahead and start my kneading process. And sometimes I will do it on the surface, but tonight, just to kind of help with cleanup, I'm going to do it in the bowl. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing the outside to the inside. You can see, just kind of pushing everything in there, scraping the sides, you know, and it will be messy. But one thing you want to do is just, just keep pressing it, but don't squeeze it, because then you'll have it all over your hands. It's one thing to have it on your tips, but you don't want it in between all your fingers and such. But it's okay. One of the fun things about making pizza dough is that it can get a little messy. All right. You can see now that it's not so sticky anymore. I didn't really time how long I've been doing this. Probably should have. But I'm thinking I'm needing to do this about 2 or 3 more minutes. And it'll be ready. As you can see, it's a beautiful dough. And how do you know when your dough has had enough flour? Well, it's not too sticky. Little bit, not much. It could probably take a little more flour at this point. But then, you want to do it just a little, just a tablespoon at a time at this point. Okay, so you can kind of see how this dough has come together. Okay, it's still just a hair sticky, but you would rather err on the side of being a little sticky than too dry, most definitely. Alright, so I'm going to put it in the bowl, and then I'm going to pour just a little bit of oil on the top, rub it in, flip it over, make it kind of in a ball. There you go. Let's see how that looks. Let me show you. Alright, so once you have it there, you want to let it sit for about 10 to 20 minutes. It has doubled in size already, so it is ready to be made into pizza. Now, as I said, I made a double batch because my sister-in-law, she requested breadsticks. So I'm going to just take a knife and just cut that in half. You know, it might stick a little, no problem. Now, one thing you want to do is you want to handle the dough as little as possible. So I'm liking how that looks. You know, I'm going to use the spatula to kind of spread the pizza out a little further. Not too much. I like going almost to the edge. Some people, you know, they like to go to the edge. Some people like to have a place where there's no sauce on the edge. It just depends. Sometimes I put the cheese first and last. It just depends. So I'm using provolone today. Provolone is used a lot in the area I'm from. I'm from Indiana, but it's right on the state line of Ohio, and it's considered the Miami Valley area. And provolone is the cheese that was available to people back in the day, you know, before we were able to have these food miles where, you know, we could get apples from Washington State. So it was before that. And so the people in my area, when they would make pizza, provolone was the cheese that would be used. And even though mozzarella is delicious, I chose to go with what I grew up with. These pepperoni, they are just the right amount of spiciness. They're going to be delicious on this pizza, and they're a double thickness, which is wonderful. Alright, so I do have my oven heating up. I'm going to put this in the oven at 425 for roughly 15 minutes, but it could take up to 20. We'll see. Alright, so I think that looks beautiful, and it is ready to go in the oven. Ooh, but you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to finish up this cheese and make some more layers of cheese. Ooey gooey goodness. I'm going to go ahead and pour out the remaining dough for my breadsticks. This was a special request from my sister-in-law. So with the breadsticks, I'm going to be very simple, and you can use a rolling pin if that's what you like. I simply do this so the breadsticks do not stick. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so these are going to take roughly 10 to 12 minutes to bake in the oven. So I'll go ahead and put them in alongside with the pizza. I recruited a helper to help clean up. Although, because I was cleaning as I went, cleanup was not so bad. Alright, so here we go. My pizza cutter. Actually, it's my brother's. I might actually kind of take it. Alright. Alright, so I have them served up here. I have my breadsticks all lined up. Plenty of breadsticks. Nice warm sauce. I have a couple pieces of pizza here ready to go. So yummy. I cannot wait to try this pizza. I know it's going to be delicious. So anyway, thank you again for joining me for another episode of Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you.